so it's whatever. Bad weather, yeah. Dude, while you guys are getting the cold weather, we are just getting inundated with snow. Like, we've had snow on the ground for like 3 weeks in a row, so. I would do a flying partner while I'm a machinist, and he's either here or tank, so I wanted to use the. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the only thing I would say about the Jinba that he didn't realize. And now he knows, of course, because, I told him. But yeah, so that's the only thing about that. The rest of the run is pretty damn good, pretty damn clean. You learned a lot from that run. Sharp did a fantastic job explaining. I mean, that's the duality of a run like that. Sharp was taking in someone who was not experienced. So what does Sharp do? He explains everything to Gego. Like, here's what this fight, here's what this guy's gonna do, here's what the boss is gonna do. Try to do this, we want to do... Like, that is good for Gego, but it's also good for the viewer, because you are also absorbing that information as well. Like, he's teaching you also, And then you kind of see it in this weird way of it being applied to, like, someone who is just learning that information on the spot, and then you get to see it kind of in action. So it's really cool. It's a very good video. I would highly recommend to check that out if anyone wants to see a different perspective. I mean, you can check my videos out. Look, it's a it's a different perspective. So you're about to jump into PoTD as a freshly unlocked Ninja. You got Ninja to 80 and any character go. Gotcha. Freshly unlocked Ninja, so that means you're level 1. So you may not have some roll. You may not have some roll abilities, so be careful with that. What don't you have? You wouldn't have stun that early at 1. Oh, but no, you just said Ninja, so that means you got to 30 on Ninja, so... Don't worry, Australia has bad internet 24/7. Well, mine, I had hoped was fully solved, but like I said, we're in a little bit different of a scenario, so I'm hoping it's just that. You burnt the brownies, can you get the... Oh, I'm sorry, Elmerish. Rip, dude. Ooh, H, I don't see you. Ninja level, yeah, okay, gotcha, yeah. Yeah, you said Ninja. My mind went to level 1, but I forgot that you don't start with Ninja level 1, you get it at 30, so that's kind of my bad. Okay, so these floors, if you notice, they changed. Also, one important feature. I'm not sure if it's this floor, but we will get one of the newer Pomanders. So if you've noticed, we have not picked up these two right here. This one would be a Raising, this one would be a Rezo. I believe we will start getting either Raising or Rezo now, and then on the next set we will get everything else. So when they first introduced Palace of the Dead, it was only 1 to 50. They did not actually have, we got another special enemy. They did not have, what do you call it? 1 to 200 off the bat. They like kind of teased it at first, and then they introduced the later floors. But when they did 1 to 50, you had this kind of full view of the Pomander list, but you would never know what these two are, because it didn't exist yet. And then once they introduced the new mode, you got those two ones. So starting at 51, which is when they introduced this was the new feature of Palace of the Dead, you started to get to fill out these ones, which was Raising and Resolution. So. Okay, this is I think that's Enervation. I only know Luring Traps and landmines. I don't care about the other traps because I would never step on them in any stretch of the imagination. Like, they are of no use to me. Only landmines are good because landmines can hit enemies, and lurings are good in the event you want more kills for whatever reason, whether it's for points or, let's say, a rage. Later on, in the higher floors, once we get there Thursday, there may be some strategies that I can employ where a luring trap is actually extremely useful. Why no Toad? Yeah, true. Well, Toad's easy, though. Toad looks like a Toad. Otter looks like an Otter, so that's easy. Okay, we're trying to keep Peloton on cooldown as well. Peloton is very, very useful. Look at the death of that Gremlin there. The Gremlin almost gets one shot. No other job can pull that off. Maybe a Black Mage, arguably, but in one hit, boom, dead. Witching, I'll just burn it. Oh, I should talk about something with the witching, huh? So we'll do that next witching. I can do it on like I can actually pull something. Let's pull 2 things. I don't have Steel on, so that's okay. Let's do an Anubis, and let's do a Deep Eye. So check this out, guys. I'm gonna do Witching, okay? So Witching can turn things into 3 things. Actually, this is nice. So we got 2 toads. So you'll see the damage that the toads are doing. 11, 8, it's like baby damage. If an enemy turns into a toad, you are a happy player, because they are the easiest to deal with. They reduce their damage almost to nothing. They can turn into the description of this Pomander. It says it can turn an enemy into a frog, an imp, or a chicken. Now, if the enemy turns into a chicken, the chicken will be doing about, like, let's say 30 to 40% of its original damage. So a toad right there was doing almost nothing, but a chicken will do a little bit more, 30 to 40%. If you get an imp will do close to 80 to 90%. Sometimes it feels like full damage. So it is very worth noting the difference of what you turn the enemy into, because on the higher floors, if you're trying to witching something that's already kicking your ass and you turn it into an imp, guess what? It's still kicking your ass. It'll still kick your ass and kill you. So you have to be very careful, because you really need to adjust. You can't just let the mind be like, okay, I'm witching, should be good to go. You know, okay, we reduced him, we changed. No. Depending on what it changed into, could be problematic, could be very easy. So if you get a toad, good to go. If you don't get a toad, you better be careful. Machinist is so good in Palace. It is Canada. Look, man, this stream right now, this run, is about showing you why Machinist is good, right? You know, I'm not gonna shit about other jobs. I'm not gonna say, oh, you know, Ninja is horrible versus this job. Red Mage is not even. No. I'm not gonna do that, because each job has its own strengths and features. And when we did the Red Mage thing, you know, we kind of advertised the usefulness of Red Mage, and that win. But today we're gonna talk about why Machinist is powerful. You're gonna just see it firsthand. You know, we're gonna run it through, hit the buttons, and you're gonna see it for yourself. And then you can decide, like, okay, well, Machinist is kind of me. It's kind of the way I like it. Or maybe you see the playstyle, like, yeah, I kind of don't like the kiting. Yeah, it's strong, but yeah, I kind of don't like the way the playstyle is. And that's fine. If you don't like the way this looks, if you're like, I kind of don't like this playstyle, do another job. Tank, Red Mage, Summoner. Also, I mean, I gotta press 1 2 buttons, so, you know. Does Witching have full duration if you use it a second time? Yes! So if you Witching back to back, it will reset the timer. Machinist superior job. Look, you can just take that opinion for yourself. When you watch it, you look at it, you can formulate your own opinion in it. I mean, I will say it's pretty damn good, you know, but I still love Red Mage, so I'm not gonna... What do I think about Gunbreaker and Palace? Good. Amongst the 4 tanks, though, I would say it's not the easiest. More specifically on Behemoth. I think climbing with Gunbreaker was really fun. We had a good time climbing on Behemoth, but I'm sorry, climbing on the floors, but taking care of Behemoth was tough. JCN can tell you, he just tried it on Gunbreaker. And Behemoth got him for the first time, but the climb itself was pretty good. But I'll be honest, man, I get bored with the tanks. I feel a lot more engaged with the DPS, you know, kind of the risk of dying and all that stuff. Tanks make this really, really feel comfy. Like, nothing's really gonna kill you. You're only gonna really lose probably because of time, not because something kicked your ass, except for Behemoth, you know. So tanks are fine, just not my style. That's all it is. So 1 crit is all you need. Damn, dude. Hey, at least you were able to hit buttons, you know? Next time, man, next time. I was winning, but watching DD fails. His Behemoth was really strong, better than mine will be. Hey, don't worry about it, man. We all have different journeys. Don't compare yourself to someone else, you know? That's his journey, you got your journey. Don't do comparison. You're 2 different players, 2 different experiences, 2 different minds, 2 different bodies. It's all good. You know? If it takes you 10 attempts, man, it takes you 10 attempts. But don't feel bad that someone else did amazing on their first one. Don't feel bad at all. It took me a long time to finally pin it down. So, it's all good. Okay. And I said this earlier before, I think what might come off to the viewer is my comfort. I am very comfortable in this job. Very, very comfortable. And then maybe if you compare it to another job, I don't know, maybe the Dark Knight run, so on and so forth, you may not see the same comparison, the same comfort. Red Mage, I'm very comfortable in Red Mage. So there might be a little bit to that too. You know, what people say, oh, you make it look easy. Well, I guess, but like, you know, we got a lot of practice in this job, that's really what it comes down to, so I'm used to all the buttons, I know how things go, I know how these enemies do damage, it's all very familiar to me, you know? We're not running out of job that I haven't really given practice on, we give this job a lot of practice, so you're seeing a polished product. But Jenny keeps making dumb mistakes in the 40s and 50s. I look comfortable on all the jobs. Now, I kind of whine and complain on certain jobs. Like, I remember when I was taking tank in here, I just kept whining about the damage. I'm like, oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, look, I hit another button that wasn't actually 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Like, I get a little whiny, you know. But also bear in mind that my expertise is more about the game mode. You know, not the rotation. The rotation's probably ass. But at least we're pretty good at the game mode, I'd like to think. Welcome back, dude. Took me 5 tries to get past floor 20 when I started, Natsumi. Look, 20, you know, we kind of went over that. 20 is a tricky one, because you have to make sure that you're either a good level, or you've got good Aether Pull, or, you know, you start with a Strength Steel. Like I said, that's a common one to get you, man. Floor 20, floor 30, floor 40, which is a very good point. That is a tough one to fight. So, we got lucky with it, thing. 60, yeah. I don't, you know, that's knowledge, by the way, JCN, that like, you know, you think I would know, but it's like, I'm not gonna retain that in my brain, because I never really need to know that in the future, because I'm just sitting 99 forever. But yeah, 60, that's your strength and armor here, so. I think it only matters when, like, I'm on, like, I'm not capped and I'm trying to go for it or something. There you go. You know it if you uncap yourself and then you start capping. You'll see the number cap out. Oh, I'm out of this. Whoops. I'm already out. It scales up continuously, so every floor has a different cap. I will not know what that cap is though, let me tell you. You know, when I first started PoTD, you tried as a red mage. Hey, nice bunny. Yeah, it's comfort, man. Look, I will always tell you that you're progging in 2 different ways in here. The game mode itself is a journey, right? You need to learn the mechanics of Deep Dungeon. How to avoid traps, how to use pomanders, how to deal with enemies, how to deal with bosses. That's a thing on its own. But you're trying to learn that on a job that has to do damage. So if you're taking in a job that you have literally no idea how to play, well, now you're trying to do 2 things at once. You're trying to learn a job, plus you're trying to learn Deep Dungeon. And sometimes that might be a little bit too much. But if you go in a job, Bunny, like you just said, your main job, Dancer, a job that I presume you know how to play, that you've had a lot of experience on, maybe you know the back of your hand, well, that's one thing you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about learning the job, you know? Okay, I know how to play Dancer, so all of my focus and attention is in surviving. How to deal with this boss, how to deal with the enemies, what my palms are going. It keeps the mind a little bit more free to think about other things. You're thinking about a lot of things already. You know, you're by yourself in here. You have to take care of yourself, you know? You don't have a raid leader giving callouts. You don't have, you know, all these things that can help you kind of focus on something else because someone else is covering, you know, helping cover the team part of it. You're by yourself. You gotta take care of literally everything. So if you can make that less stressful on your brain, then yeah, you're gonna have a little bit more success. And then you can go back, like, okay, maybe you found out Dancer didn't really work out for you, you know, you got to a certain floor. Then you can go back on Red Mage, but now you've already made the permanent prog of Deep Dungeon. Now you can think less about Deep Dungeon, think more about Red Mage, and then kind of equal out the two different features and get past it. So, but it is 2 different progs. See ya, Almer. Stay warm, man. Hopefully, you know, the power comes back and all that stuff, and hopefully everything's okay down there in Texas. But also, 70% good 8 full, 420 on it. Yeah, it is. So now switch to monks, which has to sustaining off the bat is a lot easier. Yeah. Look, man, I commend all of you going Red Mage. I love Red Mage. Red Mage is OG. Red Mage is the first job to get Necromancer, but let me tell you, lots and lots of people have just, I've heard it, come back, and they're like, oh, Red Mage, oh, like, I tried Red Mage, didn't like it, like, it pains my heart every time I hear it, but I get it. But you don't have to feel like you're forced in, like, you don't have to feel like that's your only option. No, you have a lot of options. You know, don't feel like you need to jam your head against the wall on a job that, in reality, you're actually not going to be good at. You know, it's okay to not be good at a job. It's fine. You might hate Red Mage with a passion. You know, imagine you tell someone who hates Red Mage with literally a passion, like they never played it in all the other Final Fantasy. They think it's the dumbest job in existence. You know, they hate the color red. But then you tell them, like, oh, it's the only job you can play. Like, well, they're never going to be a Necromancer because you're telling them they have to play the job that they despise with a passion. Like, you know? We're in an era where, like, all the jobs have cleared. You can take whatever the heck you want. So, and that's a good thing. Any particular tips for a summoner that are useful to know when trying to solo? So, algorithm, I would say... I think one of the big ones I can tell you is Titan. Titan. Exactly what Almer said. Titan. Titan is like, it gives you TBN, dude. If you know Dark Knight, you know the Blackest Night, that's basically what Titan's giving you. It's giving you the Blackest Night. 6 shield, very, very good to prog, because, you know, you can stay alive with there. I would say pet management might come into play, because trying to get Titan to cast a shield while it's kiting is kind of a pain in the ass, but if you're good with pet management, that might be pretty good. I would highly recommend that you take a lot of use on Ruin 2. Like probably, I would imagine a raiding summoner tries to Ruin 3 as much as possible. You probably Ruin 2 only, like, if you're out of Eggy Assaults, or like, you know, you have to do movement, you do Ruin 2, but your focus would be Ruin 3. You kind of want to flip that a little bit. You kind of want to focus a little bit more on Ruin 2 and try to take advantage of that kiting that Summoner can get because you're getting instant damage. Yeah, Ruin 3 is going to be more damage, but staying alive, you know, staying alive is actually a little bit more important than just dishing out damage. So, a lot of Ruin 2, a lot of Titan for shields. And you gotta think of Summoner as bursty, you know? Like, you can line up a Tri-Disaster into Dread Stance, right into the blue thingy, which I already forgot the name of. Like, you can do a pretty sick burst when it comes to Summoner. You can light up an enemy if things line up correctly, so... But yeah, mostly that. Hopefully that helps. Yo, Chicken, Jay, we are in Machinist, man. Although, unfortunately, I have to actually go in and stitch up this video, because the video got cut, like, at the beginning, so... Always makes me kind of annoyed when I have to actually re-edit a video after there. But hey, man, if we get it clear, it's fine. Like I said, today is, as the title says, it's a how-to tutorial-like stream. So ask away. If you want to learn how to get Necromancer, even if it isn't about Machinist, you want to ask about Red Mage, go right ahead. But today is the perfect day to ask questions, because I'm here to help you guys get this title. But today we are doing it specifically on Machinist. We did Red Mage before, so I have a video up on YouTube. I think it's still in the VODs here too, but we have a video up on YouTube that will show you and tell you and teach you how to do Red Mage Deep Dungeon Palace of the Dead. So today we're doing it with the Machinist version. Let's go. Oh, I gotta do that. I'll do that. Forgotten Anarchy, thanks for that follow, I appreciate it. I liked it, I just didn't know how early you burned through the potions. Oh. Okay. Nev! What's up, dude? Any Palace Gamers? Yo, for the relic, dude? Let's farm those relics, man. What's up, Nev? Getting into 60 rotation. Hold on. Getting into 60 rotation will probably be the most weird thing. Yeah. I know, that's tough, man. I get it for a lot of people. Like, for me, it's a little bit different because it's like, I think of it of a different way. Like, you guys probably work with the 80 rotations a lot, right? For me, I have to get into the 80 rotations because I barely do 80 content. You know, I literally have only done 80 content on Black Mage or something. So, like, learning 80 rotations on other jobs is like an adventure because I'm so used to 60 and 70 content. But yeah, you have to adjust to certain abilities not being there, right? Like, 60 Summoner, honestly, in my opinion, people will argue with this one, but I like the fact with the 60 kit that you do not get Bahamut rather. Your Titan stays Titan, because what I found a little annoying is when you run through the rotation on 70, and you know, you do your summoning, you get to Dread Trance, all that stuff, and then you get to the stacks, and then you can cast Demi Bahamut, right? I found that slightly annoying, because you have to commit to Bahamut. If you commit to Bahamut, you don't have Titan. If you don't have Titan, you don't have shields. So it felt bad that I had the power of Bahamut, because, you know, yeah, you get the damage, but you don't have the defense, because you have to actually burn out Bahamut to get back to Titan. And to me, that was annoying. You managed, I mean, you know, you tried your best to kind of figure out a strategy around that, but, you know, that's a thing to think about, so...